Everyone has a heart. Every human has a heart which craves for love. And whether it's the prime minister or the president or a pauper or a peasant, whoever it might be, they all crave for this love, which is so basic, fundamental to human existence. And wherever they experience this pure love, they're inspired. Because there is something in them that connects immediately to this source of pure love. And that is the secret why these so-called state heads are so charmed by whatever is said and how conversations happen about things much beyond even their imagination as politicians and political leaders and statesmen. So yesterday definitely was a historic day, not because we celebrated the first year anniversary, but because the best of the people of this nation, who are leading this nation at this point in time, they all gathered under one roof and tried to understand what we were doing. And at the end of it, goes back with a heart full of love, with a commitment to do more good for the people, with so much of gratitude, which he mentions several times for the spectacular evening, for the experiences that he had that evening. Goes back, and mind you, he's an army man, he's somebody who led the army at some point in time, but with such a soft heart. And this heart softened because of what he saw and experienced. Pure love in the room. So also we go to the president today, who invites us on his own. He had come here last year to inaugurate this place. And he's a native chieftain of a very large tribe, also the president of the country. And for an hour he goes on and just talks about how inspired he is by all the work that we do, by all the teachings. And he follows us on Facebook and things like that. And he goes on saying, I used your ideas for my presidential speech. It was so inspiring, and what you're doing is changing the world. And I'm learning so much from all of you. He repeats it again and again, several times. What is happening in the world? That's what Sumit was wondering. I told him I cannot go to the White House and dictate terms, but I can definitely do what I can do with love every day in every country. And this love will influence people around us. And that is what is happening when people heard us, saw what we did, and experienced everything yesterday. They went back as changed people. They might have come as politicians and statesmen, but they went back as better human beings, more committed to do more good for the society. And that is the transformation we are bringing about. It's a very silent revolution. It's not loud and bold like it was in earlier days. It's a very silent revolution that is happening around the world. And this is a story of so many countries where this is already happening. When recently I was talking to some of the devotees and I told in India for the first time, in the state of Karnataka, the higher education in the government colleges has been made free, which had never happened in 75 years. And this is for all the people, anybody who studies in the government college. The degree programs have been made free for the first time. And then, as we do these free colleges and schools and hospitals, a large NGO, which is run by a very important person, who is the head of a religious organization, and they have a large presence in Karnataka, he calls up to find out how do we do all this, because they have much bigger NGO, much better resources, thousands and lakhs of students, tens of institutions, but they don't run it free. And then, all of a sudden, I see a news article. He announces that he's going to open a free school in every district of Karnataka for the poor. This is how we are influencing the thought process of the society, whether it's private NGOs or whether it's government organizations. And today, when the president said, I actually borrowed your ideas for my speech, presidential speech, this year when you opened the parliament, it's an honor for us. Because these ideas may or may not be quoted like those on the wall there. But these ideas are influencing people. people who matter, people who have power at their disposal, people who can do something about the society, they are getting inspired and influenced silently. And that is our work. And that is what I was telling Sumit. See, we don't have to go out and tell things to anybody. We just keep doing what we have got to do, and the world will recognize. And they will come searching for who these people are and why do they do what they do. And they will investigate, they will inquire, they will get inspired when they learn about it, and they will do what they can in their capacities. And so it is important for us to keep doing good work. Nothing else is needed to change the world, only more good has to be done. And more good can be done only if we have more love for everyone. So this is our way. It's very simple. Love all, serve all is the simplest way. And the more we do it, the faster that people get transformed around us. So why are we here in Fiji? To love all and serve all. And why do we go to the US? To love all and serve all. Why do we go back again to India? To love all and serve all to Australia or to Africa or Argentina, anywhere. Simply love and serve. Once we do that, it inspires people. I met a lot of very important people in Argentina also, including the Indian ambassador. Very impressed. They've all come back and say, so much of love in this room, I can feel it. I've never experienced a feeling like this before. This is what is the power of love. And love is so very fundamental to our existence. And when we are not happy, when we are not ourselves, it's because we are not experiencing that love which we ought to experience. And that's why we go to places, meet people, try to do things which will fill that love back in our hearts. And every time our heart runs dry of this pure love, we lose our humanness. And we do behave differently. And every time it is refilled with pure divine love, we gain our peace, our composure, our calmness, our divinity. So the whole world just needs more love, nothing else. And more people who love more people will change the world. That is the only solution to this entire problem. There is no other solution. This is what we were discussing with the Prime Minister too. And he said that the root of it all is we need to have love. I said yes, but the only way love can happen is when you start loving first. You don't wait for somebody to love you first so that you can love them back. No, you start loving first, you start giving first, and then they will respond. They will reciprocate. So you don't wait for somebody to love you to make the world better. You start loving, that's your job. That's what we were discussing. That's what we are doing. And more work will happen. Work is just a manifestation of love that we have. That is happening everywhere. And it's an opportunity for all of us to love and serve. How simple, even the children are doing that. First day I arrived, first thing I know is that our Meera came with her piggy bank. $1,015 she had collected in her piggy bank, and she was excited that I was coming and she wanted to give. Now why would a kid go around harassing her grandparents, parents and anybody who walked in? Give me some money, I want to save it for the hospital when Swami comes, I want to give. That is love. Maybe you may think a child is trying to impress me. No. Deep down it is love only which is making things happen. So also the doctors and surgeons who worked late hours, and I was told, I'm still getting out of the US jet lag. I was told that it's difficult when you come from US to Fiji. And I'm experiencing that. And these doctors came from the US and other countries and they worked day and night without rest. Why do they do this? It's out of love. And all of them thanked us for the opportunity. All of them, including the nurses, the people who had come, technicians, they all thank you for the opportunity. Because they felt love, they felt fulfilled. And this is not something that you can buy in shops or order it online. It is only possible when you love. You receive love back. There is no other way to get this love, and that is what we are teaching the world. At some point in time, the world was like that, where everybody loved and lived for each other. But with time, decline of cultures, selfishness increased, people became self-centered, and they lost this very fundamental value of love. And we're just putting that back into the system. And that's how everything will start working again the way it should be. And you wait and watch. This is just the beginning. From the countries and their state heads and things like that, it will go to world stage. And people will come only to know and learn from us how to love, how to love purely, selflessly. And people will come and get inspired. And this is the way we will influence and change the world. And that's happening one person at a time, one country at a time. But in the matter of probably less than 10 years, you will see the impact of this idea on the whole world. And no other governments, no other policymakers, no other organizations can make this happen other than us. It may sound like an overstatement at this point in time, but that sounded like an overstatement 7 years ago when I told there will be a super specialty hospital and people will come from around the place, around all islands. Today it's happening. So today when I say in 10 years, you will see how global leaders get inspired by the work we do. They borrow ideas from our thoughts and they implement in their own countries, wherever they are, in their own capacities. And that will affect the change in the world, which the world has never seen in the last couple of hundreds of years. So this is the new world order I talk about. A world where people love and people serve. That is the new world order. Who will influence that? Who will make it happen? Us. It depends on us. And the more of us do it more, the faster it is. That's all it was going to be. And that you will see in the coming years. And you will feel, when you look back and at this day, you will only feel privileged, you will only feel honored that you were a part of a group like this and you still are, which has changed the world for the better. And nobody can reverse this change. All other changes can be reversed. But once you are loved, you experience that love, you can never forget that. You can never go back to be the same person as you were again. You will be a changed person. Because love changes. Love transforms. And that is the idea of this work. And this group has done a lot of work. And they have been supported by everybody from around the world. And to all of them, I want to convey a lot of blessings. May you continue to love like this. Love like God loves you. That's all we need to do. Love everyone the same way. And your selfishness, your worries, your work anxieties will melt away in that pure love. And you will become fearless. You will become selfless. This is what love can do to us. And nothing will seem like too big a price to do good for others. Everything is okay in that love. And that will happen as time passes. And then of course you will all go back wherever you come from. But please carry this light of love in your hearts. And let this flame of love that now burns bright in your heart light many more lamps of love in your own places, in your homes, in your communities, in your countries. Let that create the new world order, where there is light, there is love, there is joy, and there is service for one another.